Hello, my name's Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to talk to you about God having you guys wait, or God having you guys being preservation. So, basically, there are certain people in God's plan who God will literally preserve. He'll stick them in the freezer. Or he'll stick them in, not the freezer, but like on the rack for them to sit. And let's just say, if you're someone who's manifesting, and you're waiting, if you look at certain people in the Bible, even Jacob especially, multiple characters in the Bible, Abraham, literally just had Abraham waiting for a long time. But the thing is, a lot of these characters in the Bible, people in history, they weren't manifesting. So when you're manifesting actively, that's a privilege, because people didn't know that back then. God is not really allowed, but when I say allowed, there's a certain rule from God to human to teach them how to manifest. It's because a lot of times when people manifest, they think they're God. So there's a couple things in the Bible, and people are like, oh, are we gods because it's in the Garden of Eden? God's not talking. God is talking. The Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit are talking to each other. So it says amongst us. People couldn't figure that one out. He thought they were calling humans gods, or they thought they were calling humans gods. Yep, I just kind of added someone. But basically, this will be one of those shorter videos. God will literally have whoever it is, and he'll teach you. When you ask God for help, what happens next? Because I made a video about manifesting and God. God would like you guys to manifest. Jesus Christ, the Most High God, will teach you guys how to manifest. But you have to do it correctly. Literally. The one thing that's not correct is that people will read the Bible, they'll ask God for something, and then they'll worry. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. So you have to literally, because whatever you're doing all throughout the day or focusing on the most intently overrides. If you visualize more than you worry, or if you listen to audios more than you worry, if you do everything more than you worry, then your worry doesn't really mean much. It gets dampened. So what happens is you create this manifestation storm of just abundance, and it's like, the best analogy is a newborn baby. So it's like you impregnate. I don't like this example very. Basically, Jesus and the angels and the Holy Spirit are showing me this example. Well, there's a baby in the womb, and you have a massive manifestation, aka a massive blessing. You can't pull the baby out because you want the baby to be born sooner. So basically, if you do that, that aborts the baby. Great. This is not that side of YouTube, but it's not meant to be that example, but you guys get it. Oh, Lord. Look. No, it's not. No. Sorry, YouTube. No, I'm not sorry, because Jesus told me to say this example, but you wait until the baby comes out, and the baby's a beautiful blessing, and that baby is going to be strong because it was touched by the Lord, basically infused with the Lord's essence. So there's waiting periods that children of God will have to go through when they are achieving blessings, and that could be a painful waiting period. Why? It's because, number one, God will most likely isolate his children who are achieving the most. God will test them, but not really test them. The person or persons that God works on in a group or collectively, individually, it's just, let's just say there's mental, and people are like, oh, I've heard people say, oh, they're going through physical and mental torment. Yeah, but once you pass the test of that, you get through it. If you go to the gym and it hurts to lift 45-pound weights, and you're supposed to go back to 40, but you refuse to put the 45 down, you're not ever going to be able to do the weights. You do 45, you do 40 until you get to 45, and then you just basically elevate. So those people, normally skip a step and they get frustrated. So I saw a bunch of people like that in those comment sections, because I said, Jesus, if you put as much time into Jesus as you did into your phone, and people are on the phone for 14 hours a day, period. There's no excuse. Whenever I hear someone say an excuse, I'll repeat what Jesus just said. I said, that's an excuse. With love and respect, that's an excuse. That's some fluff. It's fluff. So I'll hear people say some lame excuses, and I'm just like, that's an excuse. Like, you're not going to tell me that. And then they keep saying it, and I said, well, Jesus directly said that's an excuse. Would you like him to show you? Would you like him to take the excuse away? Like, basically, Jesus is trying to help you, but if you keep making excuses and you keep asking for God, then He can't help you like that, but he can help you. So be on the right side of God. Listen to God. So what am I saying? Be patient. Go through the pain if you have to go through pain, but transmute the pain as you go through it. So a lot of people don't know what the highest levels of shadow work is. I won't talk about the highest levels of shadow work. It's not really for people to encounter. Let's just say everything you've ever been through mentally doesn't compare to the highest levels of shadow work. You could basically have so many negative thoughts running through your mind that you can't hear your thoughts for days. You're just watching from inside your body because there's so many negative thoughts. But that's just getting whatever they put into your system out. They're putting stuff into absolutely everything, including music, songs, TV. If you've been around those for all your life, you have to get them out. And there are some painful things to rip out. What happens in a computer when you make a new command? The whole computer gets messed up. It sucks. If you're into coding computers, it sucks. Like 11102, because the whole computer was completely fine until you put a new code in to add something new to get rid of the old, and now the computer won't even turn on. That happens to a lot of computers, actually. You install something new, the whole computer stops working. It's people's brains. How do you get it working again? It's because Jesus fixes the computer. He'll literally fix a computer. God can fix a computer, yes. And that's the thing. The message of this video is to sit patient, preserve yourself. Because let's just say when it seems like nothing's happening, you're in a freezer or you're being preserved like salt. Like you're just like being stuck on a shelf so that you can age correctly like wine. Wine's a good example. I could say that word on YouTube. Wine. And it feels like there's no sense of time. I'm not, okay, here, I'm rhyming. Oh, wow. But just know that when you go through a certain level of pain and you're doing everything correctly down to a T, and you're using your maximum manifestation abilities, there's no way that God cannot help you if you're doing everything correctly. I'd like to say some secrets, but basically it helps God to help you guys. I can't say any deep secrets. Jesus won't let me. But it helps God to help you to help other people. It basically branches out. So when you're an extreme success, then 100 other people could be an extreme success just because you're a success. One person hears your story, then everyone's inspired. And they move closer to Jesus. So, I mean, look at the Bible. It's mostly stories of... I mean, there's a lot of stories. It's too many different stories in the Bible. But the thing is, the waiting period can be the most painful, but at least you're preserved. Because there's a certain portion of people out here who are in a waiting period, but they're in pain. They're in suffering. They're just... crazy stuff happens because they don't have enough protections, because they don't use spiritual protections like that, and stuff goes on around them. And that's what most of society is. Watch my video from yesterday, guys. If you don't manifest when you're praying to God, you're going to be in trouble. Because you're going to bump into worries. You're going to bump into stress. Because everyone's manifesting for you. The music industry, TV. If you watch 1 hour of a crime TV show, in 3 months, something will happen as a crime around you. That's exactly how it is. It sucks. So let's just say, if you watch an animal show, you're gonna see something manifest from that animal show. As crazy as it sounds, you might be in the nature of your backyard or on a nature hike trail or whatever, and you see the animal that you saw that doesn't even belong in nature. So that's how God works. It's just strange, but watch my video from yesterday. It's really important. You can't keep... I mean, if the thing is, you manifest after you pray regardless. So you ask God for something, and then you fully expect, which is the law of assumption. Expect equals assumption. So when you expect, it comes, but a lot of people get caught up in how long things take, why is it taking so long, etc. And they start flipping out and they give up. Normally, it doesn't even take more than months. I mean, if you're actively manifesting, if Israel, I said this example yesterday, if Israel actively manifested, they would not have to wait 40 years. They'd be there in months. Yeah, like actual months. Because certain spiritual law and physical law have to run along the same lines. So if you're manifesting constantly, the mechanism of the universe has to follow the rules. It's like if you eat good food constantly, you'll feel good. Let's just say if you're overweight right now and you eat nothing but healthy food and you exercise for months, in a couple of months you'll be exactly where you'd like to be. It's not going to happen overnight. Versus if you're in really good shape but you just eat bad here and there for weeks on end for a couple of months, you're going to be big and you're going to have health problems. So my point for you guys is to make sure you're doing everything consistently and trusting in the Lord and manifesting. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. God bless you. Ciao.